all poisoned in that single moment. I turned and left without a word. I locked myself in the bathroom downstairs, ripped off my veil, and vomited. The betrayal burned through every part of me. Hours later, I still went through with the ceremony. Not because I wanted to marry Jason, but because I wanted them to face what they had done in front of everyone. When the music started and I walked down the aisle, everyone smiled. They didn't know the truth. My mother was standing near the front, pretending to be proud. My sister avoided looking at me. Jason stood there, pale and sweating. I reached the altar, looked into his eyes, and whispered, "I know everything." His face turned white. I asked the officiant for the microphone. Everyone thought I was going to say my vows. Instead, I said, "Before I promise myself to someone, I need to tell the truth." The crowd went silent. I looked at my mother and sister. Last night, the man I was supposed to marry slept with my mother and my sister. And I walked in on them. Gasps filled the room. My mother shouted, "How dare you lie?" And before I could move, she slapped me across the face. The sound echoed through the hall. 200 guests watched in horror. I didn't flinch. I turned my face back to her and said calmly, "Thank you for showing them who you really are." Then I dropped the microphone, took off my ring, and walked away. My father, who had been sitting in the back, rushed to me, tears in his eyes. He said he had suspected something was wrong but never imagined it was this. That night, I packed my things and left the city. My phone exploded with messages, some from relatives calling me dramatic, others from guests apologizing for what they saw. Jason tried to reach out, begging for forgiveness, saying it was a mistake, that they were drunk. But betrayal doesn't erase that easily. My mother and sister became outcasts in the family after that. The hall was filled with music, laughter, and the soft hum of 200 guests chatting under glittering chandeliers. It was supposed to be the happiest day of my life, my wedding day. But as I stood in front of the mirror, my heart was cold and steady. I already knew what had happened. I had seen it with my own eyes. My mother and my sister had slept with my fiancé the night before. I wasn't here to marry anyone anymore. I was here to finish this nightmare in front of everyone who had believed the lie. When I stepped into the hall, the room erupted with applause. I could feel hundreds of eyes admiring my dress, my calmness, my supposed joy. My mother stood proudly in the front row, pretending everything was perfect. My sister, in her pale pink bridesmaid dress, smiled nervously. Jason, my fiancé, stood at the altar, trying to look composed. His hands were trembling, the same hands that had held my mother and my sister just hours before. I walked down the aisle slowly, each step heavier than the last. The air felt